We are unbeatable, we'll train until we meet our goal. If stakes are high, no, we won't fold, because we are unbeatable. We are unbeatable, we'll train until we meet our goal. If stakes are high, no, we won't fold, because we are unbeatable.
Welcome to the world of Pokemon, and thank you guys so much for joining us on today's episode of Unbeatable! It's so nice to have all of you here. As we begin today's episode, all of our trainers are currently south of Lavender Town, standing upon the Silent Bridge, a series of segmented floating pieces of wood that travel all the way down to the next route. Currently, they were observing a fisherman friend of gym leader Finn Wake, Seth Wake's father, as he was doing his morning fishing, and instead of reeling in like a big trout or a bass, maybe something bigger, there's just a slight moment where as he cranks that rod, he pulls it forward and the shot.
That was a totally normal sentence.
But he pulls it forward and the surface of the ocean in front of his little fishing spot next to his little cabin explodes as a Gyarados comes flying out of the water and lands on the wooden panels of the Silent Bridge, surprisingly buckling a few of them under the water for a few moments. Can everyone please roll me an agility check?
Oh god, agility?
It's gonna
I want to
suck,
give DJ
though.
8 and I want to give DJ 8 disadvantages.
Disgusting.
That's not great either, man.
Oh,
Did we add our badges? Because apparently that's a thing we still have to do.
yeah, that's true.
All three of them.
I rolled a
Jesus
5.
A 4 or 5? Did you get a 6, DJ?
I rolled a 7.
Oh, why'd you?
Dang,
You
we
should,
were close.
I should take away one of your
Sorry.
badges, and then you could get.
Take away
So-
my badges.
As that happens, all three of you into the water of the ocean first thing in the morning.
Oh god.
As you feel the Gyarados hit the platforms, and immediately you go ass over tea kettle into the ocean. An unfortunately familiar experience for Coryne.
You see,
As
Coryne
all three of you-
Coryne surfaces on her back and just like spits out the water and just floats for a minute. Like this is fine.
Myrtle
This is where I'm at.
style.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious. But as you guys are in the water, I'm actually gonna go ahead and use the agility rolls you just did for me to sort of gauge like actions and such while this is happening. It's sort of like a pseudo turn order.
Cool.
So just to get that going real quick. As you guys are in the water, it is that thing where it's like you start floating on your back and water's gonna because you're not in like a high wave area, but you are in a Gyarados flopping on a wooden bridge area. So as it's like moving back and forth, there is a moment where anyone with a D10 or higher intelligence die will hear the fisherman go, "Oh shit, was somebody on the bridge?" as you hear the of another Pokeball opening and a second Gyarados onto the bridge, and it's slightly bigger than the new one, and they just start fighting. You hear
What?
Gyarados as they are on the bridge. It is hard to make out the exact action that is happening at the moment, but as is happening, DJ, you are the first one to sort of get to your senses and like, "Oh, you're in the water. What are you doing?"
She is not the strongest swimmer, so she's just kind of like floundering, like doggy paddle stuff. Like she's above water. She can swim. She's just not strong. So she's like, like she's just trying to keep herself up, and she's gonna try and paddle back to the bridge, but not get on top of it. Just hold it.
Okay, so there are currently, from where you're at, there's directly in front of you where the bridge is still kind of underwater because 2 Gyarados are currently sitting on it fighting. There's closer to town, which is above water, and there's the house, which is above water. Where are you headed?
Yeah, I'm just gonna swim right in between the Gyarados. No, I'm just kidding.
You can do it.
Just gonna get right up in there.
DJ's not a good swimmer, so she's just gonna go right in between the two water type monsters. No, she's gonna go towards the house.
Okay, she starts heading towards the house. You are right, she is not the best swimmer, but she is still pretty decent and was the first one to get it. So I'm going to make you not even roll. You start, and as you get over, you can see the fisherman is sort of like already starting to like toss another line.
Oh my god!
He's just tossing it out. He wasn't sure if he saw anyone, and at this point, he's got a D4 intelligence die in terms of perception of the environment. So he is not really.
Can I yell out to him?
100% you can.
You're gonna go, wait! Hold on! Hang on!
Oh shit,
Hold
there
on!
was somebody, and you see he like gets out of his chair and like goes and like just like snags your like hand out of the water, like, you onto the wood.
My friends!
As
She's
that's
gonna
happening and you
plop
start
down.
talking about your friends, Coryne, you and Seth are both still in the water as well. What is your first instinct as to what you're doing?
Well, Coryne was just chilling, like floating on her back in the ocean, being like, yeah, this is my lot in life now. But as soon as she hears Gyarados battling, she's like, she like gets up in the water and is like looking for DJ and Seth and like making sure that they're okay. I assume that I clocked DJ over going towards the house.
Yeah, you can see DJ flopping onto the wood as Seth is there. Seth, what do you look like in the water right now?
I saw that Coryne was kind of just floating, so I was just floating. And then when the Gyarados come out, it's more of a like my body's floating and my head's here, and then my body just kind of like moves below, so that like
sort of
less
like,
of a target, just more of a bobbing head in the water, and it'll just kind of I'll slowly be kicking over towards the house, but obviously not moving quick. It's not like if I move faster, the Gyarados won't hit. If they're gonna hit me, they're gonna hit me. That's how like it's a Gyarados. I can't really.
Wow.
What am I gonna do? Dodge it? Oh, good. I'm good at that. So yeah, slowly just kind of swimming over towards it.
So yeah, Coryne, you can see that Seth is slowly starting to make his way over there. What are you doing?
Coryne is just gonna keep a hand on Myrtle's Pokeball.
Okay.
But is going to start treading water and swimming over towards the house where DJ's at.
Okay. So the two of you start getting over there. It is that thing where like DJ, you have flopped onto the wood at this point, and you can see the fisherman at this point is sort of like at the edge of the pier, like with the hand out. Like as the two get there, he goes like pull Coryne. He goes, nope, too heavy, and he goes to help Seth. And he goes,
Coryne gets up on her own.
Corinne's like 200 pounds of muscle. You know what I mean? That's a lot. But he goes, oh, I didn't think anyone was actually on the bridge. I thought it was.
It's probably the mist.
Ooh. Wow, sorry about that.
Coryne like side-eyes Seth, like, don't give him an excuse. That was not safe.
Behind you guys, you still hear Gyarados. Was one as the bigger one like takes its mouth and just like wraps it around the littler one and starts slamming it into the bridge.
Is the bridge gonna hold up to that?
Oh no, it's fine.
No, it's not gonna hold up to it.
No, it's fine.
No, it's not gonna collapse. It's fine.
Oh, okay. Sorry. How I asked the question was in a way
apologize.
that made it seem.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway,
No, he's got it.
I was told to come meet you here. I'm Seth Wake. I'm Seth Wake, Finn Wake's son. He said that you have some task or
you're
something.
Wake's kid.
Yeah, I'm Wake's kid. Can we go inside? It's a little loud.
Oh no, he'll take care of this in a second. We'll be just fine. As you hear, and you hear like the sound of like a faint like whistling. Is it? As a fucking hyper beam just fucking obliterates, and you see the littler Gyarados just go and just launches out into the ocean. Yeah, that one was too small. We had to throw it back.
Got it.
Well, I mean, yeah. Anyway, it's a lot quieter outside now.
It is. But anyway, as I was saying, yes, Finn Wake is my father. He said to come here to see you because we were in town.
Ah, I see. You've sought out one of the renowned fishing gurus. Nice to meet you. I'm Dude.
Nice to meet you, dude.
I'm sorry, your name's Dude?
Well, I know my name's Dudley, but I go by Dude because everybody's just like, oh, it's the fishing dude. And then I was that.
That's
just became a
fair.
nickname.
That's
Makes
fair.
sense, yeah.
You know what? That's kind of awesome.
That's kind of like what happened to me. My name is not DJ, but people call me DJ all the time. And people ask me, hey, does J stand for Junior? No, it does not. But DJ is still the nickname that I got. Why are you looking at me like that, Coryne?
I'm trying to guess what the D and the J stand for. I don't want you to. Don't tell me. Don't tell me.
Don't guess.
Devin.
Nope. I told you not to guess.
Devin, it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Devin. And he just comes in and he brings it in. You get like the full, and like
all right,
his
this is
hands
nice.
are so callous that it almost feels like they're cutting up your hands with how callous his fucking hands are. Because he's got like the hook
That's
calluses
how one
that
of
are
my
kind of
dads
sharp,
are.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I feel right
sorry,
at home.
it's a very exciting morning for us to start with. As for tasks, you want to go fishing?
Sure. I have I think it's a good rod now.
I think you guys did upgrade it to good rod. You guys went
Yeah.
from old rod to good rod, if I remember correctly.
Mhm.
I have a good rod, but I don't know if that's going to hold up for what you're getting.
Yeah, that's more weighted for like rivers and lakes and ponds. If you're, wanting to get something that you actually pull in, I think I got a spare one somewhere around here. And he starts just like you see like the house is
Hell
like
yeah.
has just like crates and shit like leaned up against it. He starts like pushing one crate and like one flops over and like a bunch of fish that were like in water just back into the ocean. It's just like he's like, oh, that's bait. And he goes, here we go. And he pulls out what looks like a baton, maybe like yay big, with like a big cylinder on the side of it. And he goes, and the whole thing just telescopes out to like a 12-foot long rod. And he goes, I got this from a sponsorship like 2 years ago. I'm not using it. And he tosses it to you.
Nice.
Anyway, you can mark super rod into your inventory now.
Oh my god.
That
is
knew it was gonna be
so-
something fucking nuts.
Fucking
Yeah.
cool.
Fair warning though, if you're not ready to fight the things on the other side of that, don't toss it in the water.
I think there's not anything that I'm necessarily looking to catch in terms of ocean Pokemon. But we were passing through town and we plan to check the tower out later and just didn't know if you had any advice on like the lay of the land.
Oh, well, if you want to check out the tower, then obviously you're going to want to go meet Mr. Fuji Jr. He's sort of the older guy who runs the tower.
What? Wait.
His dad's name was Mr. Fuji, so he's Mr. Fuji Jr.
Wouldn't the junior cover that?
Ah.
You'd think.
You see Coryne just trying to say it like as many times fast as she can. She's like, Mr.
Mr. Fuji.
A tongue twister. He sounds
Yeah,
cool.
I heard he's been short-staffed lately, but I've been, out here. But no, he's a good guy. He helps run the Pokemon Tower. And honestly, if you're gonna go check that out, I highly suggest talking to him. He's a nice dude. He runs the Pokemon house there in town.
Cool. Well, we'll definitely check it out. But if there's anything you need done around here in the meantime, we're here.
Actually, he kind of like thinks about it for a second. And goes, that Gyarados is kind of scary, right? You guys are not ready for that?
Yours?
No, the other one, the little one.
Oh,
The little one, like 15 feet long.
How could we have
I feel
guessed
pretty.
the
I feel like
rank?
pretty confident we could take a Gyarados on.
Go ahead and roll me with advantage Pokemon lore checks.
I got a 7.
7.
10.
10.
11.
11.
Oh, okay, it's not a
there's-
competition, Kenna.
It was a little
I
bit
mean-
of competition when you were winning, I think. When you were winning.
Well,
it
it's
was
always a
little bit
competition when I'm winning, Aaron.
Yeah, with that, you guys were thinking probably like, it's actually probably like a lower rank Gyarados for like 4 or 5.
Yeah, it's doable.
Oh, we'd be
It's very
fine.
doable. Very, very doable.
So his question was,
Was that scary for you guys?
oh, not really.
Getting dumped into the ocean was scary because that was unexpected.
More surprising.
The loudness was
Yeah.
scary for me. I don't like the loudness.
Okay, well, I mean, if that's the reason I was asking was because if you're like pretty decent trainers, then there's always jobs for pretty decent trainers. That's why I was just making sure. I mean, given that you're Wake's kid and company, I figured you guys are probably pretty good. But I do have potentially something. I've been having an issue lately in terms of. So
We're on the
you
hook.
see, he's
Just
like-
reel it in.
Yeah,
Bro,
he's-
literally.
He's like going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth on it. Basically, there has been this Pokemon that's been kind of a pain in my ass for the last couple weeks, and I think it's because I accidentally caused it to evolve. I think is what happened. Now, it's not urgent. It's not urgent at all. But if you're interested in some overnight endeavors, I'd be happy to host you for a couple nights and maybe pay your way in town for a couple days.
Overnight.
Is it a ghost type?
No, it's not a ghost type.
Did you piss
What's
off a
the
magic
Pokemon? Could you give any more context?
I can.
Could
It's
you just
embarrassing
tell
because
us?
it's a water type, and that's why it's embarrassing. I'm supposed to be, one of the fishing gurus. I mean, I am the youngest of the 3 fishing gurus. You look at him, he's like 48.
I was gonna say, how old is this guy?
He's like 48.
Okay.
Yeah. But no, there's been this, I don't even know what Pokemon it is. It's some kind of big turtle. It's just been fucking around with my nets the last couple of days. And it's embarrassing because I'm a water type specialist, but also it just keeps my Pokemon's too big. It always sees us coming. And it just comes in, it'll rip up my nets. And I think the reason that it accidentally evolved is I was reeling out one day and then I passed out in the sun, and then I think something weak got stuck on the end of my hook and it just laid into it, And I feel a little bad about it.
So you think this was the thing stuck on the hook?
No, I think this was something else stuck on the hook, and then that thing beat the shit out of the thing that was on my hook.
And it's a
Damn.
turtle.
It's a big fucking turtle. All I ever see is a big turtle shell. And when I mean big turtle, I'm talking I'm not talking. And then he references the Gyarados, which is still just kind of chilling on the bridge. Has not returned it yet. Just kind of there. He's like, maybe yay big. And it's maybe 5 feet long is what he's saying.
Can I make a Pokélore?
Does it look like a big version of this? And I bring out Myrtle.
No, it doesn't look like a freaking war turtle or a Blastoise. I'd recognize the cannons. Now the shell's brown. Go ahead and make a Pokélore check for me.
That's a 6.
6. You do not know what Pokemon this is that he's referring to. It could be any number of things. You do not immediately off the bat know.
But yeah, I have no clue where that is. Where was it at?
I've just been here in my net, and he kind of points down, and you can see that there is below you. Now that the water is starting to soften out a little bit, you can see that underneath the water is actually relatively clear going down. It's still kind of like a weird gray color. There are multiple railroad ties that are driven into the ocean, and you can see large nets sort of anchored off of them onto the shores. Yeah, it shows up as every other night. So if you're willing to take care of that for me, I don't care how you get rid of it. If you catch it, if you relocate it to somewhere else, if you just drive it off for a while, it's just it always sees us coming and is able to just swim away way quicker than we're able to catch up to it. Which is funny because it's a turtle, so it should be,
Slow.
But then also ocean turtles and tortoises are actually different things, and that's a whole incorrect stereotype about turtles because they actually can.
We'll do it. Yeah,
across the water.
that seems fine. We can do that. At night, if that's when it comes up. We have some other stuff to do during the day, but we can definitely swing back by later.
I'd be happy to introduce you guys to Mr. Fuji Jr. if you wanted to.
That sounds good.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I would love that.
Yeah, old guy's had the tower sort of closes it up probably around noon these days, so still got a couple hours, but also if he's not there, we can find him at either the Pokemon house or the House of Memories. One of 4 not houses in the town.
He closes the tower at noon?
I mean, there's not a whole lot of people traveling here with everything that's been going on. Even I've not left out of that loop. And he sort of points to a little hand radio that's there.
Quick question. What's your Gyarados' name?
Gyarados?
I fucking knew it.
I mean, it's just, I only call it Gyarados when other people are around because, really it's just hey, you, go do that. Attack that.
That makes sense. I'm going to reach in my bag
and a whole lot.
Grab some jerky and give it to the Gyarados.
The Gyarados leans down and opens its mouth, and its mouth is probably wide enough to fit your whole torso in without you touching its teeth at all.
Just
but
throw
very gently, you throw it and you go, and you feel the gust of wind in front of you.
Just pat its tongue good job.
It is, yeah, as a reptile, it is fucking cold to the touch.
Yeah. Well, it's just splash around in the ocean, of course. It's going to be cold too.
And kind of and then it just slowly flops off of the bridge, creating another unnecessarily large splash, but you're all already soaked anyway.
She just takes it.
I feel like Myrtle was standing there kind of sizing up the Gyarados just because she was around. And then as soon as that happens where it takes the jerky and flops up it, she runs behind Corinne's legs. And it's oh shit.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, and he goes, well, I mean, I'm not caught anything yet this morning, but yeah, we'll be happy if we could just walk into town real quick. It shouldn't take too long.
Okay. Do you need to catch something first beforehand?
Nah.
You have 2 people now to help fish rod-wise.
No, yeah, it's good. It's not an issue of fishing. Honestly, the real reason I'm disappointed is because I just keep getting small ones these days. Ever since those shady motherfuckers came and took all the big ones, it's there's nothing that I can't throw back.
Who took? What?
Oh, I don't know if you heard. There was this big storm thing that was happening down south of Powell.
This is where they got.
There. And basically, they just came through. I should have fucking known it too, because I woke up one morning and I'm like, it's weirdly quiet. The Gyarados aren't up doing their normal spawning grounds. And then they weren't. Because trust me, when 2 Gyarados are getting busy making an egg, you can hear it.
All right. Well,
It is a violent. It's a violent noise. It's a violent process.
All right. Well,
DJ goes, all right, and like wrings her jacket out. And
The
she's
parts
just
that
gonna
have
leave
started
it
to
out.
dry in the sun are like salty and stiff.
I'm gonna bring
Yeah.
out Anchor, just so I can be like, if you guys need anything dried quicker,
Who is this little gentleman?
this is Anchor, and I pick him up by his head, so his little bottom part's just hanging around, and just wiggle him.
He just kind of like goes out and goes, may I?
Yeah, sure. Here,
He just touches the tentacle and goes,
I think Anchor
that's pretty
just
awesome.
kind of like just latches onto the arm. It's like 50 pounds though, so it is heavy.
It just immediately sort of like drops. It's the cartoon physics of it's not heavy till you know it's heavy sort of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
He goes, yeah. No, you guys will get along great with Mr. Fuji Jr.
Great. And then just pass him around whoever needs to be dried off. Laleep's just gonna go around and just hug everybody and just absorb all the water
Yeah.
and dry it.
That's perfect.
The water is all gone. You are still salty as fuck and stiff.
Yeah, he
from
doesn't do
the-
salt.
Yeah,
That's,
he doesn't do all the
just
salt.
the water.
The water gets absorbed. Yeah, if that's the case, dude is gonna look around and go, all right, let me just get my reel up, and he goes, and as he goes, you hear, is that another little one again? He just cuts the line this time.
Oh, okay.
He just goes, don't worry about it later. And he-
You could tell it was a
It
little
is-
one from just the
From the-
tension.
Yeah, once you get good enough, you can figure it out. But as he gets everything set up and you guys head back to town, it's probably like getting closer to 10 when you get there. And because it is the morning, we'll do something I forgot to do last episode. Coryne, can you roll me a D10, please? And DJ, can you roll me a D6, please?
4.
6.
Oh, I get to mark it off for both of you. Good to know. Okay.
Wait, what does that mean?
They're different rolls. I'm marking something different off for each of you.
Oh, they weren't
but
bad
it's
guy
good to
rolls?
know. No, those weren't bad guy rolls. We
Okay.
do bad guy rolls at the end of the day.
We had an end of the day.
Yeah, but you forced me to do them last arc in the middle of the day last time.
What can I say?
You're gonna try and get 8 bad guy rolls out of the same fucking
Yeah,
day.
World
Oh
records
my
are broken for a
God.
reason.
As you guys start headed to town, the thing that with DJs is not going to notify right now, but with Corinne's, Coryne, you get a ding. You look at your text and you say, delivery available at the nearest Pokemon Center.
At first, Corinne is like, I didn't order anything. And then Corinne's like, and she grabs Seth's arm and just goes, oh my gosh,
Ow!
oh my gosh, oh my gosh,
Oh,
oh my
what?
gosh, it's here,
Yes.
it's here, it's here.
It's here. What's here?
Look.
Oh, it's here! Yay! That's cool. For context, DJ, a Pokemon is here. I know Coryne didn't give that context by slapping my arm, but you know.
Oh, is that your the heck type of Pokemon was it?
It's
Is that
a
worm
Dragonair.
Pokemon?
It's a
A
Dragonair.
dragon worm?
Oh, a Dragonair. Right,
Yeah, it's a Dragonair.
Oh, you're getting yourself a
That's so
Dragonair.
exciting.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a rehabilitated Dragonair. I helped, and Corinne cringes at the word help. I kind of helped get it away from some rockets.
Good on you. You know, we actually have a population of local Dragonite that exists in the mountains here, north near Rocky Tunnel.
Oh, I think one of my friends is there training.
Oh my God, you're friends with that one? Yeah.
What was your what has your
What's
experience
what
been?
walk me through your day. What's how do you know them?
All I'm saying is, even Gyarados don't come to the surface when people are being loud, fighting everything in sight. And she was being loud, fighting everything in sight, and that's why I asked her to move north of town, because she was too damn near coming to my house.
Gotcha. Well, she won't be back in town for another day or so. So
That's
Let's-
fine. She seemed nice enough, but you can see there's built frustration there, where he's just like, ugh.
Wow. Well, okay.
No.
DJ's gonna
Um,
lean over to Seth and just be like, maybe unless we know they like Perry, we just don't mention Perry anymore.
I won't know until I bring up them. That's
You know what?
not my fault for their
That's a
actions.
good-
How am I supposed to
It's a
know?
But yeah, they're pretty rare, but you'll occasionally see them fly over
Harry's?
the routes. No, the
Dragon.
dragon.
Oh,
One of a kind.
The platypus?
Perry the Dragonite!
No, but obviously the tower's up this way, but we should honestly check the House of Memories first. He's been spending more time over there lately.
Okay.
And as you guys like walk back through that canyon that you had gone through into town, once again the temperature drops like 4 degrees when you get into town. As you guys walk up, you can see that off to the side, hugging part of the canyon, is off of First Street. There is like sort of a what looks like at a distance a house, but you realize very quickly that it is like almost entirely carved of like decorated stone. It looks like, but its design is actually like, it looks almost closer to like a mausoleum, but instead of it looking like ancient like a lot of the structures do, this one looks like it's weathered, it's been around, but it's probably not older than like maybe like a decade or two. But it's this like sort of like flatter building with like a large yellow dome roof, and there's like these little flower fields all to the side of it. It's really cute. And then you realize, oh, those are burial plots.
Why you do this? Why
Okay.
you do this?
But dude is walking, and as he walks into town, you see like a couple of people who are off doing their business, like turn, they go, "Hey, dude!" And they like give him like he's friendly and well known in town, and he goes, "Hey, nice to see everybody." Da, da, da. And it's sort of like that like neighborly affection that you see between people that is like pretty nice. You guys didn't get that yesterday because your flat
Endearing.
account is pretty nice. Yeah, it's pretty good. And dude walks you over and he goes, "Don't step there. Don't step there. Don't step there."
You know what? Why don't
Sorry,
we just
he-
follow you in a single file?
Good. Yeah. He hasn't he hasn't had enough help to pave the actual path yet. And people got weird feelings about stepping on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, now let's try it over here. And he goes and he walks over and he like dunk, dunk, dunk. And the thing has like a heavy exterior door, but it is a wooden door. And he goes, "Hey, Fuji, you in there?" And you wait a beat and you hear dunk, 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 dunk. "Dr. Bones, can you get that, please?" As you
I'm
the
about
door
to freak out.
opens up, and there is a figure that is probably, I think, Matt, what, like 3 to 4 feet tall, I think, if I remember correctly?
Probably.
With sort of like darker purple skin and like a head that looks like it's made of bone that's like fused in with like these little horns, and it's carrying a big staff made out of bone as well, but the ends are lit in sort of like this like flickering green fire almost. As this is obviously some sort of Marowak, but this is not a local variation of Marowak that is in front of you. As the Pokemon opens it up, looks at dude, and then closes the door, and you're Marowak from inside of the building. "No, I know he's loud. Please just let him in." The door opens up and he goes, Marowak, and like gestures with the stick to come in, and he looks at the three of you, closes the door.
Oh, okay. Well, just let us know when you have time.
Bones, was there
DJ's
someone
gonna
Dude, is
DJ's
there
gonna knock
someone
on
else
the
out
door
there?
and yell, "Hey, Fuge, you in there?"
That's incredibly disrespectful. But just open the door, and you see him. An unimpressed Marowak opens the door for the 3rd time. Marowak, and like gestures with the little bone cane for you guys to come in.
My favorite character.
This is Matt's fucking character, asshole.
Just want to point out before we go in,
Yep.
DJ's jacket is tied around their waist because they didn't like the salt all over their skin. And what they're wearing now is just like a skin tight black, like high neck tank top that cuts off, and so you can see the full tattoo sleeves. And there is a Marowak staff, like on her bicep.
That's
So
pretty
like,
sick.
not that the Marowak would notice, because they didn't look at us long enough, but that'll be coming out later. So
That's pretty fucking cool.
That's dope.
I knew that you had one sort of themed sleeve, but I didn't realize that was one of
both,
one
yeah.
of the bones.
The left is all ghost type attributes, and then the right is all fighting type. And
So you would be intimately familiar with an Alolan Marowak then, if that's because
Probably.
of the ghost type.
yeah, I have a lot of expertise with ghost type, but none of my
Okay,
own,
okay.
which is why I'm
None
so
of your
excited
own.
to be here.
You're like, I'm gonna find a
I'm just
ghost.
really excited to be here.
Okay. Ozzy, else want to state anything before we pop into the House of Memories?
Thank you for letting me inside to the Marowak.
The Marowak pauses and gives you a respectful head nod. Like, yes, you have manners. Sort of look.
Wow.
Yes, you are cool.
He looks at me and says, "In another life, you were my creator."
In another life, we were partners for life. But as you guys go in, you see that this House of Memories, actually, like, it's not like TARDIS. It's not bigger on the inside than outside. But the outside was deceiving as to how large the inside is of this, like, crypt-like building. As you can see that it has quite a high ceiling because steps immediately sort of step down into it. And it sort of opens up into a wider room. As you can see that there are what's the word that I'm looking for here? It's like stone cubbies where bodies are placed and then like sealed in.
Catacomb.
It's like a catacomb, yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm talking about, where they have like in like a church or something, they'll have like a stone panel where it's like, oh, there's a thing on the other side of that, but obviously it's like encased in stone.
Kind
Sort
of
of
a
thing.
Morium? Something
like that. That's the word I'm looking for. There are those within the building. However, it looks like maybe 10% of them are in use of all the ones in the room. The rest are just sort of like empty cubbies. And you can see down at the bottom there is some sort of like out of place like wooden desk that has been very obviously brought in and sat down at the base of the stairs, where like it wouldn't like space wise really make sense to put a desk there. It's almost like there was no desk in this building and someone needed there to be one, so they plopped it right there, sort of thing. And you see as you guys step down the like couple steps to get down into it, there is Matt, I'm gonna let you describe this man.
What
does this man look like?
Dog, it's been 6 years since we did that episode. Do you think I remember?
Almost exactly 1 year, actually.
Let me go to my notes. I think I have. I guess remember Dead Bones?
I do remember Dead Bones. He's
Damn, I do
right
remember
now.
Dead Bones.
Oh, he's in prison. I thought he died.
No, he's in prison right now.
No, but I think from what I recall, Mr. Fuji is a elderly man that has like a long mustache and a kind of like a tweed suit, and looks and walks very similar to how you saw Mr. Bones walk, with a cane that he has, and I think his cane has kind of like if you saw like a knotted wood tree branch that then was made into a cane, that's kind of what it looks like, and you kind of hear it like rattle and make some noises as it walks, as if there was more stuff in it than you think.
There's more stuff.
And I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I don't know. He's just pretty sick.
I remember the eyebrows being big, but other than that,
yeah, he's got big old eyebrows.
He's got big like caterpillar eyebrows.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Like the dad from American Pie eyebrows.
So
If you want to hear a more in-depth description, watch our Halloween one-shot. Part 1 of the Halloween one-shot.
Hey, no, when this comes out, that'll be up. I started editing
And
that.
part 2 of the Halloween one-shot.
And part 3 of the Halloween one-shot.
Oh, dang, is that much?
It's a 3-parter, yeah.
What?
That's one of
It's
the
a
reasons why it's been such a
3-parter.
pain in the ass to
Well.
edit. Yeah.
How long is the mustache?
How long is the mustache,
I
man?
don't-
He's got like a Fu Manchu going on? What are you doing?
I don't know. It goes like here. I don't know. Look at Google it.
Like, is it long enough to like come down off his face,
Like,
or is it
come-
just
oh.
contained
like
to his
down?
face?
No. I think it's more of like it can go off, and if you wanted to like twirl it up, you could. But otherwise, it's like just down.
Okay.
Oh, sure,
scruffily,
sure.
I guess.
Makes sense. Makes
Okay.
sense.
But yeah, you
Maybe
see
he
this
doesn't even
man.
have a mustache. He could have shaved. I don't know.
Maybe you could shave. As you guys step down, there's a man with a curled mustache. You guys step down and you see this person, and you can see that at this point, dude has made it down to him. He's giving him oh, nice to see you, buddy. And he's like, gives him a hug, and he goes, I saw you. I this earlier today. I saw you. He goes, yeah, I know, but it is what it is. Who are these people? goes, oh, well, these are some trainers that have come through town, and they were offering to help me out with the thing, so I offered to come help introduce them to you because they were interested in the Pokemon Tower and like everything you got going on there. Can I get just like a base charm roll off of all of you, please, just to see how you're presenting yourself in front of this dude?
Do I get any
Did we-
sort of advantage for my tattoo Steve?
Let me roll a spot hidden check. Yes.
Yes.
Did the Marowak gesture for shoes to be on or off inside this building?
Off in this building. There were
Okay.
little slippers by the door.
They aren't on right now. I'm putting the slippers on.
11.
14.
12.
All of you guys come across really positively. So you see this moment where Mr. Fuji Jr. sort of looks over at you guys and goes, "Oh, trainers. Well, I can put them to work," is the first thing he says. And he goes, and he picks up just a stack of papers off of the desk and sits them to the other side of the desk to like punctuate the "put them to work." I don't know if you remember my assistant. They're off doing things. So, hi, trainers. Hello, I am Mr. Fuji Jr. I run the Pokemon Tower, the House of Memories, and the Pokemon House here within Lavender Town, and I am busy all of the time, always. Isn't that right, Mr. Bones? Mr. Bones looks at him. Merriwer. So if that's the case, if you're here to help, we're happy to have you. We are a volunteer-only service. We cannot afford to pay you anything. And we're very happy to have you around.
Would you be willing to pay us with knowledge and learning?
You will be learning if you do the work that I want you to do.
Okay.
Which is?
Well, so you see here, actually, he looks at dude and he goes, "Oh, yeah, how trustworthy are these kids?" And dude's like, "I met them this morning. I don't know what you want from me on trust."
He's the son of a gym leader.
That's Seth Wake. Yeah, that's Finn Wake's kid. It's good enough. So basically, recently, due to some earthquakes we've had in the area, caused by, anyway, due to some earthquakes we've had in the area, we recently uncovered that there was a catacomb here used specifically for storing of notes that was built when the House of Memory was built something 20 odd years ago, and I need help sorting the shit that's in it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And dude's like, "You guys just do all the work that we give you?" He's sort of like, "You guys already agreed to help me out, now you're agreeing to help this guy with paperwork. Do you guys do anything else? You guys ever do the training part of Pokemon training?"
Battles? Yeah, we're just, you know, is there a gym here?
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right. But anyway, you guys good here? I'm gonna head back to fishing if you guys are good.
Yeah, we'll be. What time do you think we should be?
Well, it showed
Back.
up last night around like 1 a.m., so probably a little earlier than that.
Got it. Cool. That's
Okay.
a good time for activities. We'll see you at around that time.
Okay, well, see ya. And he's out of the building. And Mr. Fuji Jr. looks at all. He goes, "So that's great. What would? No, it's fine. I don't need. Yeah. What are your names?"
I'm Seth Wake, Finn Wake's son.
Oh, yes, that was said. What about the other two?
I'm Coryne Willows.
Okay.
DJ Werther, it's nice to meet you.
Okay. he shakes your hands.
We don't have to.
No, that's fine. That's fine. You just Nice to meet you, DJ Werther.
I know I'm chipper. I've been told I've been chipper.
Well, please come with me. And you see he just starts taking off in a direction with his cane, just sort of tapping it as he walks.
Okay.
And Mr. Bones looks and goes, "Marowak," and like actually starts to guide you guys as opposed to this dude who's just taken off down the way. As you guys get all the way towards the back of this area, you can see that like part of sort of that like inset grave area where we talk about how there are those stone slabs that are often sealed to keep things like sealed. You see that like recently like two of them have like fallen off of the wall and have sort of been pushed off to one side and like all the debris swept up, so it's just like the larger chunk of stone that's there now. And behind it there is, instead of that like probably like 3 foot by 3 foot cubby that's normally there is a small doorway.
How small are we talking?
We're talking like, I mean, 6 foot even is what we're saying, because it's 2 of those cubbies put back to back. So it's one of those things where like DJ easily can walk underneath it. Coryne, Seth both have to duck a little bit in order to get under it. But it's that thing where Mr. Fuji Jr. like kind of steps down into it and he goes, "No, this way!" And he starts like pushing down into it and he goes, "So, you see here," and you can see now that the room opens into sort of like a square room that's maybe like 10 foot by 10 foot, and there are shelves all along the sides, also carved out of the stone. But there are a series of like small books that like line the shelves, and there's like a section where a large chunk has already been taken, sat aside, and then another chunk was taken and sat on top of that. And it looks like somebody was planning on organizing them and then didn't. As you guys get down there though, Mr. Fuji, sorry, I can't say Mr. Fuji, it's Mr. Fuji Jr. Sort of turns and like gestures with his hand and goes, "So basically, I don't know who put these here or why they put these here, but these were put here in my lifetime at some point. I don't know why I didn't oversee the building of this, that was my dad. But basically, there's just a bunch of books that I need organized, and then we're going to, you're probably not going to be in town long enough to see us finish organizing. But just, you see right here, there's a paper that you can write down the name and then like a 2-sentence description of what the book is, and then sit it in a stack where it can be found easily. All right, thank you so much. So I'll see you guys in 6 hours. Goodbye." And then he just walks up the stairs.
Mr. Fuji Jr., before you go...
Yes? His head like comes back around the corner.
Okay, yep. Just wanted to, I don't know, talk with you more before you left.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
I think we were excited to kind of get like a tour of the Pokemon Tower and other things too. Obviously, just so that you know that's something we want to do, because... if we're going to be doing this all day, you said 6 hours for this?
It was just a relative time measure. It's however long you want to work. Again, this is all volunteer work.
Fair.
But if you wanted a tour of the tower, I can happily give you a tour of the tower. Do you want the real tour or do you want the daytime tour?
Real tour.
Real tour?
Real tour.
Okay, so you said you needed to be down to Dude's house by midnight. Swing by around 8:30, and he's not looking at a watch. There's no watch on his wrist at all. I'll swing by around 8:30, and then we can take you on the real tour. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
That sounds
all right.
Excellent. And I take my phone out and I text Tanner that we're doing it tonight at 8:30.
Tanner goes, "No, wait, I'm not there. How do they know I'm not there?"
I'm not there.
He's like panicking. He's like, "Fuck, I have to do it later." He doesn't curse though. I said fuck. Fuck, shit, balls.
I imagine if we do well tonight, we'll be able to get in again, so it's not that big a deal.
Cool. 8 o'clock, 8:30, you said?
8:30.
8:30 should work.
We will
on the
do
freckle.
that. We'll go ahead and start with this. You said you had an assistant. Are they out of town right now? Or?
Oh, yes, I have an assistant. Their name is Asher, and they have gone off and they have left me to do all of this work on my own, which is... about right for them. They're off in the Sevi Islands researching something or another. I wasn't paying attention.
Got it. Okay, cool. And did you say that this is specifically of the building we're in right now is the Remember? What was it called?
So this is the house... let me explain this. This is the House of Memories. Basically, my dad, when he was in charge of the tower, I don't know what he was thinking. They said, "Let's take this ancestral building and we're going to turn it into a radio tower." Wild. And then what they did was they were like, "Well, we've got to put all the corpses somewhere. We're going to move them all into the House of Memories." That upset the ghosts greatly. So instead, they put them all back, except for the ones that were already properly moved and buried here. And now the towers and the House of Memories are both places where Pokemon get buried, though this is more of a private place, whereas that's the public visiting area.
Gotcha.
It was a bad idea. I don't know why it was a genuine part of the Pokemon canon that really existed within the video games.
What's a canon?
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of had a stroke there for a moment. I don't remember what I
That
was
thing we
saying.
saw under the city.
I was gonna say go boom.
Jeez. Okay, well, we will meet back with you at 8:30.
9:30, yes.
8:30.
7:30, absolutely.
8:30 p.m.
you
EST.
see Dr. Bones looks and goes,
How many fingers do you have?
You got it. You
4.
got it.
So there's no thumbs. It's just the 4 fingers. I don't know how many fingers does a Marowak
I don't
have?
think it has. I think
Does it have
It has
any, or is it just
3.
a
It has
bit?
3. He's gotta like do a weird motion. He uses the stick too.
he just draws it in the ground in like little temporary fire, ghostly
Yeah.
fire.
because
Got
it's all on fire. It just like leaves a little like soot trail behind it. So like
Cute.
soot would be such a good name for a fire type. Anyway, but he goes. Oh, also be careful of the ghosts. They do haunt this place every once in a while. It should be harmless as long as you don't find the one that has the red balloon. That one will eat you.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
What do you mean? It's
So
a
there
ghost. They eat you.
But the balloon, is that part of the...
Oh no, it saw a movie once and just uses that to lure small children.
Coryne
Got
looks
it.
horrified.
How well lit is this room we're in?
Not. There's like a lamp on in the corner, and you use the little kickstand that's on it to
Yeah.
like put it up into a little lamp. Yeah, I love this little stick.
Okay, cool. Well,
Yeah.
DJ, is there anything that you
Is-
need to ask before we have the meeting later?
DJ also looks like got the 10,000 yard stare, and she just goes, "I'm a little guy." When you said that he eats small children, she's like, "I'm small." But no, I have nothing else.
And then you everyone else has asked questions. What about you? And points at Coryne.
I have no questions.
Oh, that's how I like it. And then he pops out the door,
Bye.
and
Bye, Mr.
Dr.
Bones.
looks at you
Bones.
guys, and looks at you guys, and gives a respectful nod to Seth, and walks up the stairs and walks out.
Oh god. Only down for Seth.
Seth was the only one who was courteous when you guys came in, dude.
He's a doctor, too. That's crazy.
He's doctor. I don't remember if it was Mr. or Doctor.
It was
in the one
Doctor.
shot,
It was
I keep swapping
Doctor. I
between them.
remember.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool,
yeah.
cool. I have
Mr.
those
was
notes,
his father.
I just haven't gone and found them.
Mr. Dr. Bones.
So you guys have been very quickly sort of abandoned to a room by yet another eccentric old man. You guys are running into a lot of these days, man. This one looks like at least he just doesn't give a shit, which is different than the last one you ran into.
I know we're in a room right now,
Mhm.
and I didn't catch it in the description. Do the catacombs go on further? Also, the earthquakes that are being experienced, was that...
They are, I think you would have caught after the sort of sour note everyone in this town has had, that probably is coming from Perry's training up north.
Oh.
Yeah.
The people who live in this town do
I didn't-
not
I
like
didn't-
Perry.
I didn't pry any further because I was like, it's probably for the best that I just leave it ambiguous and not solidify the fact that Perry's probably not good for this town.
Dang. Perry needs to...
Hey
Get
man, when
outta
you're
here.
training a full-grown dragon type, shit happens.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Do the catacombs go on any further, or
So
like is it the end?
basically, the way that this works is it was never meant to be like a full-scale catacomb. So it's basically like a big room with a
Mhm.
series of those shelves across all of the walls in sort of the bigger area. I would say probably like
Mhm.
100 by 50 foot sort of space, with like large pillars holding everything up. It's like very decorative, very Corinthian, the pillars. This room is just 2 of those panels that would like normally hold one of those like burials, or 2 of those burial spots.
Mm.
It was like a secret room that was behind them, and then those panels fell off and revealed this room. And you've just been left here. No one like did a security check. No one gave a shit if there was any sort of secrets that were here. This is what happens when one old crazy dude is in charge of like half of a town.
How much
Well.
more like could we get in here? Are there like extension cables and or better means of
There
electricity?
is, because this place was built in the last 20 years, there are outlets.
Okay. Can
Yeah.
maybe grab a lamp or 2.
Yeah,
extra for
easy.
light?
Easy. There's like, it looks like whoever this assistant was had it pretty well kitted out up at the front. You could go grab a couple of those pieces and bring them over.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a petra berry. Eat a
Yeah,
petra
the
berry
random
on the way
petra
back.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then
Anyone who watched the one shot gets what he's talking
I
about.
will.
It's so
Yeah,
good.
Kenna.
Yeah, Kenna.
Seems like you didn't watch the one.
I
shot.
watched it when it first came out. Don't you at me.
Petra berry shouldn't be a surprise now, should it? But yeah, I think I'm gonna grab some more lamps and chairs for us to try and sort through things with a bit more like ease on our bodies, so we're not just standing for 6
Yeah, it's one of those things where, like, you know how like there are certain surfaces that if you sit on something for more than like 30 minutes, you will end up with a hemorrhoid. It's one of those sort of like stone floors. It's like you know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking
That's
about?
not really how I judge surfaces to sit on, actually.
Oh man,
Is this gonna give
that's
me a
crazy.
hemorrhoid?
I am curious though as to like what information we will get from these books. What are the general vibes of these books?
Oh
So-
yeah, Coryne cracks one open.
all that you see on the outside of these before we get into the actual contents is you can see that all of them are sort of like a off-green sort of leather with like a black back stitching that very obviously look like they are before you can open them, get the feeling of sort of like almost like field journal-y, where it's like they look like they are sort of like should be like all handwritten notes on the inside. They are not labeled in any particular way, which is funny because you're supposed to be writing the title of these books, quote unquote, on the piece
Right.
of paper. But they're not labeled in any particular way on the outside. And as you pop it open, you're actually quite surprised to find that they're closer to picture books than anything else. And there are maybe like 20 or 30 of these individual little books that are scattered among all the different shelves. And there's a stack of like 5 of them that has been sat off to the side that I was telling you about earlier. But as you start to look through them, some of them, like the text is like really muddled, and the sort of like semi-humid stone underground conditions were actually not great for preservation on them. But Coryne, the one that you kind of like pulled down, can you go ahead and can you roll me a D20, please?
11.
11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, we're starting with this one.
Would
Oh,
a
yes.
combination of maybe not Smolder 100%, but Smolder and Anchor help with the humidity?
It would with preserving the room. It's not gonna unrun ink. You know what I mean? It's not gonna. It's not gonna
just to make it so
like,
pages don't stick together. Or, I don't know.
That's fair. Yeah, it would make the room more comfortable. Definitely.
Is it cold down here or is it hot?
It's chilly. It's stone and it's underground.
Smolder, please.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Smolder will immediately sort of like curl himself into like a little ball in the center of the room, so he's like evenly dispersing the heat in all
I'm
directions.
gonna have Anchor kind of do a pass around the room, but give him my flashlight, and he's just gonna go to the ceiling and hang from the top like a little chandelier. So he lights everything
And he does
up.
that thing where he tries to like spotlights people's books as they're reading,
Yeah.
so he'll be up top and he'll be like, trying to give you the ambient light you need.
That's so. Oh god,
Like a
that's
son
awesome.
holding the flashlight for their dad in the garage.
Aziz,
I-
light.
No, Anchor. No, Anchor.
It's kind of
He's
blowing
doing
my
his
mind that of all of the books you rolled this one first. That's kind of stupid to me. So as
What
you
is
sort
it?
of pop open,
It's the
book,
history of murder via fire extinguisher.
murder.
Judas, no.
No. But as you open it up, you can tell that. Remember, I mentioned these are picture books.
Mhm.
You know, sort of how like ancient caves often had like specific like drawings and etchings on them that were in a specific style. They were like angular in specific ways because that's the material people had. It looks like these are like hand sketches of some sort of version of those like sort of like cavern prints, where you can see somebody has taken like an ink pen and has like drawn in and filled in to the best of their ability. And they're really high detail photos that you're looking at. But this first one is the script at the front of it. That's sort of like the title page is written in sort of an older dialect of your current written language. So can you please give me a human history roll, please?
Oh yeah, and I actually have a point in this, so that's kind of awesome.
Do you really? That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, and I think human history is education, and that is a D10 for me. So let me go ahead and roll
Okay.
that. Oh, okay. It's 4 + 1 + 3, so 8.
8. Okay, 8 is pretty good. You are able to make out the first half of the sort of script. It says the golem and then you're not able to make out what the and part says after that. But as you sort of like see this book, you flip to the next page and you can see that there's like this very beautiful artistic rendition of sort of like the world in terms of like this sort of like flat plain, but it includes like terrain of every kind. You can see like trees and mountains and rivers and valleys and all of these beautiful things of nature. You can see the sea. It's all sort of like, it's that weird sort of like really old painting style of everything's a little weird perspective and it's all kind of squished together a little bit. You know how like pre-Renaissance like paintings look? But it's all like carved and etched in a single color. And then sort of like standing in the middle of all that is just a figure who is sort of like cylindrical with two like weirdly long and very thick arms and two very thick feet, and it almost seems to be like grown of the ground itself. Like where the forest and trees are and the bushes are, its feet almost seem to like mix in with the ferns, and there's like these like large like plumages of leaves and bushes coming off of its shoulder. There's these like weird crests coming off its shoulders, and its face is almost this sort of like inhuman sort of like central piece that looks closer to like a carving than an actual face. And instead of eyes, it has these like little like black dots all up and down it, and there are these like 6 like little circles going up and down its front torso.
You said, okay, I don't think that this would work, but if can I like take out my phone and snap a picture of it and like reverse Google image search?
You can attempt that. I will tell you, you will not get anything back.
Okay. I like try it.
Yeah, you try, I'm saying you try it, you do not get anything back. I will say Coryne, I don't know what Corinne's first instinct is because you play Coryne and you know Coryne, but also you do also have a best friend who's an expert in pretty much everything.
And he standing right here.
I was gonna say.
Actually, well, I am after I don't get any results on my phone, I'm like, what in the? And like I try multiple ways. I search like Golem, I get things that aren't it.
Golem.
So I
Golem.
turn to the other two, and I'm like, hey, do you guys know what this is? I mean, it looks wild. This isn't a Pokemon, is it?
I will let the 3 of you make me a combined Pokemon lore check.
Hell
Together, you have a certain
Hell yeah.
difficulty that you are attempting to beat.
Bro, it's gonna be like a 30.
Come on, D10, don't let me down.
Go ahead and let me know what everyone has rolled together.
Oh, that's better than what I just rolled.
That's cocked.
I'm gonna make the number with my hands right now, and I'll hold it up when it's
rolled
time.
I rolled a 14.
Okay.
I also got a 14.
That's 28 total.
18.
18, 28, 36, 46. Okay.
I rolled an 11 on my die, and I have expertise in that.
45 is the number you guys needed to beat.
Wait. What was our math?
46.
46.
I
was thinking, I was like, oh, man.
28 plus 18, that's what that math goes, right?
Oh, that's so cool.
Don't ask
Oh my
28
God.
plus 18 is 46, yeah.
Yep, that's awesome. Okay, so it takes a hot second as all 3 of you kind of look at this, and it's sort of like, is this a Pokemon? And there is a lot of different places that you guys can pull information from as like young adults in the Pokemon world. Because there are a lot of places you can pull information from in the real world, right? Like the internet exists, you can read books, you went to school, you were formally trained. And you would not expect that this specific story would come to you in the form of a creepypasta. As you
That's kind of awesome.
as you remember a post talking about this thing, this eternal golem.
Canonically, it's called
that-
Droopy Pasta, but whatever.
Dreepy pasta is fantastic. Write it down. But you remember this thing, this post about this Dreepy pasta, the eternal golem, and it's this sort of like being, this Pokemon that has been around for as long as the Earth has been around, and it travels the world and it finds different materials and makes more golems in its own image, not for any sort of violent reason, though these are Pokemon, and there are often talks about like, and then those Pokemon were sealed away in ancient crypts, waiting to be unleashed by whatever person finds them. And that's where the sort of like internet sort of like, oh my god, it's a cryptid in the forest creepypasta comes from. But it does contain a kernel of truth, and as sort of you're thinking about it, Coryne, you can't help but flip to the next page and the next. And you can see that it kind of very closely matches that story of, you can see this figure, the golem, sort of going across the world, and it's gathering like materials. At one point it's standing over a volcano, and it like grabs the lava out of the volcano and compresses it into a sphere, and like pulls arms out of it, creating this even in the one color you can tell metallic spherical version of itself. Or it travels to a glacier and shears off chunks of ice crystal and forms this very pointed sort of likeness of itself. At one point it grasps a thunderbolt from a cloud and turns that into this sort of winged version of itself. And you can see that one of the interesting things, because you know how like a lot of those like old photos are built with like symmetry, right? So it's like there will be a photo and then it's sort of like a changed version of that photo, the next one. Going from each one to each one. So for example, going from the glacier to the thunderbolt. In the thunderbolt photo, you can actually see the glacier version of the Pokemon in the background. And it's almost like a pyramid of some kind is being erected around it. And can everyone give me just a quick geography check?
Oh, I'm shit at geography.
Real life and in the game, it's
That's
great.
Kenna in real life.
Yeah.
6.
6, okay.
9.
9, okay. And then it's a competition because Torie's currently winning, is what I'm learning.
21.
Damn.
I roll a
So-
D12 on my education.
I
that
want
tracks.
I do
to
too,
say
but I don't
that I'm going to
explode
draw a
things.
piece of logic for DJ that is only relevant because DJ was recently thinking about this place due to the actions of another member of the party. Whereas DJ, as you look over and Coryne sort of like flipping through all the pages of these like golems being formed and then in the background sealed away, that like icy one, like that looks fucking, why does that look familiar? The like sort of weird like forested valley where it's being erected. It's weird. It's like, why is that familiar? And then you kind of like drift down to your phone and you pull up a Google, because I feel like, how often does DJ close her tabs on her phone?
Well, if you remember her notebook with all the flags flying out of it, not very frequently.
Never.
So you
Nothing
scroll
like
through
literally
about-
never.
You scroll through like 30 tabs on
Like
your
84
fucking
tabs are open right now,
browser.
yeah.
You scroll through like 30 of them to get to about 2 weeks ago, where you had heard one of your friends was traveling somewhere and you weren't sure about what that location was called, so you looked it up. And you kind of pull up a photo of the valley in front of you and you're like, man, that looks just like Fennel Valley. Sort of like right off the side of Celadon where I grew up. Anyway.
I will point. I'm gonna point that out to them. I'm gonna show
Okay.
them. She's just gonna go like, I know this place. Pulls up the picture. Do y'all think this is Fennel Valley? And I'm gonna show them the picture.
I wouldn't know. I've never been there. I mean, that kind of looks similar.
Been there before. That's where Gavin went, right?
Gavin did go to Celadon.
Yeah.
But he said that was for a different Pokemon, though. It wouldn't have been like I didn't hear anything about a Golem.
Well, if you remember, DJ, do you know much about our... I mean, you didn't get to meet Gavin. We don't talk about him a lot.
You
Seth,
guys
do you
talk
think
about
you
him a
can-
good amount, actually.
Yeah, you'd also mentioned
talk
where he
about
was
him all
going
the
and sort
time.
of his background as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
so
we've talked
glad.
about it because-
He is all of our
we've
phone's
definitely talked
backgrounds.
about it because just him.
No, yours too. Yeah, everyone's
Ava's
phone's
my
background.
phone background.
We took one big picture of Gavin and Ava and cut it up into 3 different pictures, and each
Crap.
person got it. I have
That's actually where
That's
Vermilion
really
went,
cute,
was just to hang out
actually.
with Gavin because they think Gavin's cooler than you guys.
provably
You know what?
false, but
All
whatever.
right.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
What's our follower
Um,
count now on our little Insta Pokegram thing?
Not close to his.
Who got banned and who didn't?
Yeah, for real. Anyway, I do think, yeah, you guys have you've talked about him a ton. You would have mentioned him a lot. You had phone calls with him at some point, group text, stuff like that. And when I said I was from Celadon, you probably told me that he was going to Celadon. I don't know that you've told DJ about like
I
his
think
dad and stuff like that.
I could be being apocryphal here. I swear to God, I think that came up at one point in
I
Vermilion
didn't.
City.
I'm
It
pretty sure
it
we
might
had said
have.
it.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
it didn't, it happened the
If it
same
didn't,
time
it
that we
did.
got the
Yeah.
Chimchar and the
Yeah.
Poplio. So
Exactly. Yeah. It was actually, that was the narration that was
Missing
being
episode.
said as we received Chimchar. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Monferno?
Gavin's dad was there, but he capture he had something else.
Cresselia, right?
Yeah.
The crescent one.
But he has that one already is the thing.
And from what Gavin said, it was like the effects of that Pokemon was happening there. So
Yeah.
I don't know if that Pokemon had maybe escaped and was doing something, or he did show back up and maybe they're cutting into the ice. Is it cold over in that area? I'm not too sure geographically.
No. Fennel Valley is a temperate forested valley.
Or wait, no. Is this, sorry, making sure my line of thinking is correct. Oh, but you said the glacier was in a triangle. Or
Yeah, it's in a pyramid in a valley.
yeah, I don't know. I guess we could maybe send a picture of this to Gavin and see if he sees anything.
That is not a bad idea, actually. We should definitely do that. Corinne,
You here?
After-
Question mark.
this you?
This you?
This you?
He sends back a
after
picture of just
DJ
pointing at it. He's like, yeah, it is.
can you imagine? And then his dad's in the background.
with the
Yeah.
fucking ice golem in the background.
It is in the background. Just waving
They're all
something.
doing the Giga Chad face. Like they're doing that.
After DJ points that out, that's like an actual place, can I kind of flip through the rest of the pictures and see if any of the other Golem put away pictures look like other areas that are familiar?
I was only able to draw that line for you because that was the only location that was relatively familiar to any of you. The rest, I'm not even going to make you roll.
We just don't know.
Yeah, you have not been to those locations. You would not. You would not. know.
Seafoam because of icy stuff, but I guess if the ice one's not where the ice one should be, then or would be, I guess I don't know.
Are they? Do we think it's all in Kanto, or is it spread out across regions?
I doubt. I mean, if it's the whole world, I don't think it's going to be really region specific to just where we are for convenience sake of any type of worldly story
So this
being
just
told.
might be one in Kanto.
Both the book in your hand and the Dreepy Pasta both specifically call out it's a sort of global thing. But as you guys kind of stand there, kind of stunned by this sort of book, do any of you look at any of the other books?
Heck yeah, we're gonna read it.
Okay.
We're gonna do all
each of
this
you
work.
each of you roll me d20s, and I'll give you quick narrations of them real quick.
I rolled a 1.
I rolled a 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's funny. That's really funny, actually. Okay. So as you guys start to flip into the books, you very quickly realize, Seth, that what you're looking at is given that you're starting to figure out the dialect, I'm not going to make you guys roll anymore for the trying to figure out the dialects of these. This first one is the one that you're holding, Seth, is called the Shadow Guide, is what it's referred to. And at one point, you can see like these like large, beautiful illustrations of Ho-Oh, the like legendary bird of the sun, this beautiful like rainbow bird, and it gifting one of its feathers to this like small 3-foot tall like black Pokemon that
fine.
carries on to those rainbow feathers, and it looks like it will be able to grant one of those feathers to a person, and that person will eventually go and challenge and battle Ho-Oh in sort of like a respectful contest. And that is referred to as the Shadow Guide. And then the one that you rolled, actually, Torie, that wasn't that one, which is really funny. You can see that immediately. The first thing you see is the title of it is The Winged Mirages. And you do not have to roll to recognize these Pokemon, as inside of it you see immediately this sort of like beautiful etching of Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres all sort of flowing on the page, and you are very quickly able to realize that you are all currently standing in a hidden library of Pokemon legends. And that is where we're going to end today's episode. Thank you guys so much for joining us on this episode of Unbeatable. Goodbye, everybody.
Guys, we're gonna lock into this room.
I would like to say this is a further evidence that Aaron does not want me to be happy. This is further evidence.
Goodbye.
Thank you for watching this episode of Unbeatable, which was brought to you by you, our patrons, which if you're not a patron, I recommend getting over there because we have an exclusive, super secret Discord. It's not secret. You just have to pay for the Discord and you'll get access to it, where we answer questions that are in our Q&A videos every single month. If you don't, I mean, that's cool too, I guess. Stay unbeatable.
Today's episode of Unbeatable is brought to you by you guys over on our Patreon. Specifically, thank you, Ivy Caldwell, at our champion tier for supporting today's episode. We could not do this show without you. Thank you so much.
I am unbeatable. I'll train until I meet my goal. If stakes are high, no, I won't fold because I am unbeatable. Earning every badge, whatever it takes. I'm gonna be the best trainer. You just wait, and I know the road ahead looks like it won't be easy. I am unbeatable. Standing by my side, got my friends with me to explore a whole world of possibilities. But no matter what the challenge is, we can overcome it together. Because we are unbeatable, we'll train until we meet our goal. If stakes are high, no, we won't fold because we are unbeatable. We are unbeatable, we'll train until we meet our goal. If stakes are high, no, we won't fold because we are unbeatable.